before we do this?
Yeah.
Maintain eye contact with me.
Okay.
I love you.
I love you too. Should this be recording while we do this?
I love you.
I love you.
I love you. What are we talking about? Oi! I'm Trenton.
Michael.
YouTube's cutest best buds. Welcome back to the projection room where we project our thoughts and opinions on movies, music, anime, mainly just movies. And today we're here to talk about everyone's favorite anti-hero, Venom.
The Venom.
Starring Tom Daddy.
Tom Hardy.
We are Venom. Yeah. And Reese's Pieces.
Rizamed.
The RZA.
The Riz.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
And Michelle Williams.
And first thing I want to talk about is, well, the direction. Really, there isn't much to say about it other than, like, the movie basically just feels like a typical MCU movie, just slightly darker. And for Venom, to me, that just feels a little bit too clean. Like, I was hoping for an R rating. I know whenever they were first coming out with it, the director said that he wanted to push for an R rating, and
Sony thought bad for some reason.
Yeah, Sony thought that was a bad idea because I guess they want to appeal to a general audience.
But it's what this movie needed, to be honest. I wouldn't say it's a bad movie, but it does need the R rating.
Yeah, I think it really would have benefited from an R rating, and also just a darker, grittier look. Like, I almost wanted like a gritty, like, grindhouse feel to it.
Yeah. Only at one point in the movie do you ever feel like they were maybe about to do the whole horror thing they talked about post-production, like pre-production, but it lasts for all of 1 minute, and then from there it's all comedy, all action, nothing's really scary.
Yeah, which honestly the comedy surprisingly worked pretty well for me. I actually LOL'd quite a bit in this movie. Another thing I could say about the direction is probably the first 20 to 30 minutes I was pretty uninterested in everything that was happening, and it was jumping around from place to place a lot. Like, it goes from Malaysia to San Francisco to Malaysia again, then the bad guy's evil lair, and then back to San Francisco. It just jumps around a lot, and sometimes the tones don't work all that well together. But for me, the second Tom Hardy gets infected by Venom, it's like all uphill from
It's a whole different movie at that point.
Yeah. Cast,
Alright, so start off, you have Tom Hardy. Great actor. Still a good actor in this movie. Like, honestly, everything Tom Hardy, like, did to portray Venom, I thought was very accurate to what you could expect from something like this if this was real. He's twitching a lot, he's all shaky, he stutters, ever since he gets infected, he's a totally different character from before. Before, he's like this confident dude, he rides around with a motorcycle, he picks up his girl, he's like, hey, I'm Tom Hardy. And after that, he's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
all the time.
He actually seems like genuinely scared in a few scenes.
Like, Eddie post-symbiosis is like a whole different character.
Yeah, you really see him transform throughout the movie.
Like, whenever Venom's talking to him, he's like talking back, like keeping upbeat, like there's no gaps in it. He's really holding a conversation with Venom. He's also freaking out anytime Venom says anything to him.
That's another thing too, is whenever he's talking to Venom, that to me is like the best part of the movie. Like, all the best comedy moments, the serious moments, all my favorite moments, aside from some of the action sequences, are just Tom Hardy and Venom talking to each other, which is great because I read that behind the scenes Tom Hardy did the voice of Venom also. He just had like an earphone in, so like whenever he's responding to Venom, actually responding to himself, he's really talking to himself. I thought that was really cool.
Then on the other hand, you have the Riz. In my opinion, a terrible casting choice. At no point did I ever feel like Riz was a villain. Like, he just felt like some bratty rich kid who's like, oh, I had this thing, now Tom Hardy has it and I want it back, so I'm gonna throw a tantrum in the city. He's like shouting at all these guys, and he's like, I'm the boss around here, but like, he's not he's not menacing, he's not threatening, he's nothing. Like a bird in the wind.
It almost feels like Tom Hardy is in a different movie, because every time Tom Hardy's on screen, I'm like, every time Venom's on screen, I'm like, but like anytime the movie cuts to anyone else, like Tom Hardy is in a great movie, but everyone else is in a really shitty movie. But honestly, to me, that's what they needed to get right. They got right the most important thing. So it's almost like
it's his name. It's Venom. This is his movie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of torn though because like it's not a good movie, but Tom Hardy and Venom are so good in it. Another casting choice that I think was a good casting choice was Michelle Williams. She's a great actress. Everything I've seen her in, I always love her in. The problem here is that her as Tom Hardy's love interest just is not interesting. She just doesn't have anything to her character. She's just like,
there's no chemistry there either.
I actually felt it like whenever they had the little dialogue in the beginning, they have that little bit of banter and like there just wasn't anything there for her to do anything with character wise. So I don't really.
They didn't give her a good character.
I don't really fault her for that. I mean that's pretty much it actually. All right, so from the direction to the cast, performances, and the story, how'd you feel?
I thought it was a good movie. Like, the only issue I had was it didn't get the R rating, so there were some scenes where you're like, oh man, that would look gruesome if they wanted it to. You know?
I feel like it could have benefited from it.
Yeah, but it was a good movie. I went into it thinking it wouldn't be that great, and honestly, I was pretty surprised. It satisfied me enough to get me to the sequel.
Based on the trailer, I was not impressed, and I thought it was going to be another Sony disaster, and surprisingly, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it definitely has its problems. The script's pretty bland. Some parts tonally are just all over the place. Pretty much every character other than Eddie and Venom are uninteresting in comparison. But in the end, like, there were so many great comedic relief moments. There was quite a few really good action sequences. And
so good action.
Yeah. And to me, in general, they got right what they really needed to get right, which was Venom and Eddie. So, yeah, I was pretty satisfied, and I'm looking forward to a sequel. I really hope that they make one. Mm-hmm. And I also hope that they make it better than this one. I love you.
Love you too.
Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like the video, give it a like. If you want to subscribe, subscribe. If you're already subscribed, you should probably unsubscribe because it's, yeah.
It's only going to be a turn in the wind from here.
A turn in the wind.
We got some tater tots.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.